What do you do with Matt Brash and George Kirby the rest of the season? Brash's performance over the weekend and Kirby's performance down in the minors still, and I'll pull up his what he did over the weekend and where he's at. This isn't oh my goodness, George Kirby's going to come up and absolutely dominate at the big league level. But when you're talking about Matt Brash versus George Kirby, we're talking about a guy in Kirby who has always thrown strikes. And after his 5th start in Double-A Arkansas, he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings, struck out 7, no walks, gave up a home run. But when we're looking at the season line right now in Double-A Arkansas, and again, this is Double-A, it's not Triple-A, and it's obviously not the big leagues. He's 32-5. Excuse me, 32-5 in the strikeout to walk, and he's only hit 1 batter. This is just who George Kirby is. So the chance that like Kirby has a higher floor than Matt Brash because he's much more likely to throw strikes consistently. Not that he's never going to have bouts of control problems and have a day like Logan Gilbert did on Sunday where he walks 4 guys and it's uncharacteristic. But that's why we hear things like uncharacteristics, because sometimes that just does happen. And he's a young guy and he's unproven. And he's going to face hitters that are significantly better than the hitters he's facing in the Texas League. 5 starts, and when you kind of dig into that a little bit, what he did and what he's kind of built up to, he's facing Wichita and Springfield and Frisco and Corpus Christi. He's not facing the Houston Astros, and I believe this was Sunday. George Kirby threw 77 pitches, 51 strikes. So his ability to throw strikes, now you get into the big leagues and you might try to nibble a little bit, but his ability to throw strikes is much greater than with Brash. Brash was pounding the strike zone pretty good, delivery getting out of whack a little bit. When you get hit around a little bit, you try to nibble a little bit as well. And his arsenal is a little shorter than George Kirby's right now. It's really just the 2 breaking balls, which are sort of similar, and the fastball. He's not throwing a whole lot of changeups, just may not feel real good about it right now. And it is underdeveloped compared to the 2 breaking balls and the fastball. So that's what we're getting out of George Kirby right now. But the reason I'm bleeding this, the bullpen question into the Kirby and Brash part of this show is because Seattle could say, hey, let's call up George Kirby, put him in the rotation, handle him similarly to the way we were down in Double-A Arkansas. Go, he's up to where we could go 80, 85 pitches and basically give him the Matt Brash treatment. But then the question becomes, what do we do with Brash? Well, the options are we can send him down to Double-A Arkansas or Triple-A Tacoma if you want to go there. We can send him down in the minors and he can continue to start and work on stuff. Or we can say, hey, even though this does not mean Matt Brash banished to the bullpen forever, but you can say this is a guy who can help us in the bullpen, maybe right now. Hey, it's Jason Churchill. To get the full episode, as well as every other episode of the podcast, past and future, subscribe for as little as $5 per month by going to bit.ly/getthepod. That's bit.ly/getthepod, all one word. A link you can also find on my Twitter profile. Hey, thanks for checking out Baseball Things.